Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about Photoshop, and I'm going to give you some basic uh, tutorial about Photoshop. Um, Today's lesson we're going to take a couple of images. I'm going to play with the colors, brightness, saturation, and also we're going to take the couple of scan drawings, and we're going to see how can we increase the line weights through those and clean the drawings. Okay, so this is the assignment mean this is the goal. So what we're going to do, we're going to take some images like this, and if you look closely here, see how they scanned it and they cleaned the drawings, and so it was very well done here. And this is one of our professor's examples. And they changed it into this. And here's some photograph which we're going to analyze some of this photograph and the lights, and how is to crop this, and at the same time how we going to clean this, and for example using crop marks and brighten and darken and so on. We're going to use a couple of techniques to learn today's. So let me go and close this. So by now you should be have your model photographed it and scanned, so one by one you could fix those. So sometime, not all the time, um, you don't have to do the exactly same procedure for each photograph. Each photograph maybe be varies and different, the way light comes in, the shadows, and dark or lighter. So you had to make call your judgment and see which one is good. And also for scannings too, if your line weights are good, no, not every time is going to be the same thing you'll do for all the images, but sometime here and there you'll do have some changes. So basic of Photoshop. Okay, so if you look in the Photoshop, guys, this over here, these icons, which is this area, this is the pull down menu, and here is the our icons for entire workspace. And for example, when you press this icon here, this will change. Also you'll see some changes in here as well. So today we're going to learn about this move command, and this selection tool here, and there's another selection laser tool, magic one, crop, I think it's clone tools. So we're going to go through a couple of them. So, and also let's look at this area where you change the colors by using the keyboard shortcut, which is X. And you go to file, open for new stuff. So basically this is your whole workspace. Right now I have nothing open, so in this case what we're going to do is that we're going to go ahead and open some files. This is just to open file, open, or new. We're going to start with new. When you start new, first thing I will do, since I'm very familiar with inches, and I would like to go work with inches. So now is inch by default is giving me my I think my screen size. So I'm going to make this to wide is going to be 17, the height going to be 11, which is 11 by 17, and resolution I'm going to make 128, and here I'm going to make this 16, the color mode. Press OK. When you do that, it'll give you artboard. Okay guys, at the same time let me go ahead and explain some of this artboard over here. See, this is the ruler, this area, that's the ruler. Same thing here, this is the area, that's the ruler. So now this is the whole um, workspace. Couple of shortcuts, guys. Z for zoom, okay, V for move things, at the same time you could selection too. um, W for magic wand, M for wonder tools, L for lasso tool. So one by one I'm going to show you, and C for crop. First thing we had to look is that this area here, the layers, this area layer is very important, that you create more layer, you work through layers. And so if you look very carefully, this area, this is to delete a layer, this is to create a new layer, this is to open a file, this is to control the saturation, brightness, dims, and everything through the layer. You could do two things. You could do it through pull down menu, or you could control things through layers. I would like to control things through the layers, guys. It's very important. Then you get more layers, and also change the colors through the layers. If you want to do with this, pull down menu through the image and adjustment. What will happen when you go image adjustment? What will happen? This is due to the particular layer. Then you cannot go backwards. But if you do it through here, is applied to that layer, but then is above or bottom of the layer, which you can move and turn on and off. So if you look at this layer, this is to this icon red to turn on and off. So what we're gonna do now, let's so this is to create a new page. And also when you work with ruler, control R for rulers is on and off. And also when you click on the ruler, when you drag it down, see that it will become like a line, and you can create your own grid systems, which it will not print when you're printing it, but it's like a imaginary lines there. So I could directly simply collect them and make my own grid system, or I could make my own patterns. So that I'm using simply this. So if you want to work in a workflow like this, and let's go, I'm going to show you some command with brush, which is paintbrush. So if you when you press brush, oh by the way guys, this is CS4. If you're using CS6, that's going to be totally different by interface. So just try to go with the shortcuts, and also you'll see the difference here at the top is because I don't have the CS6. So let's go use the brush. And also in the icons, I would like to tell you that when you press and hold the icon, you see there's a couple of more 3 icons embedded inside. One is pencil, color placement tool. Same thing with here too, rectangular. So this is a selection tool as well. So if I click here, and I could click from here to here, see that it's snapped to the rectangle, and you can move that as well. So when you do selection like this, so whatever you do, for example, if you once you select it, if you press B, alright, if you paint anything here, it would only work for that particular within the box. It will not go anywhere. So I'm using the and also if you press X, see that now the colors changes. Again I could go to my selection tool. Now this I go to ellipse, and I could control click and drag, and I can use my brush, M for B for brush, and I could paint like this. See, and also I could go to my selection, this modular tool, and then I go to singular columns, and I could create more and more of these. Or I could do move tool. Since I created this, see that like you could move it, but you see it's giving me error message because my layers locked. So usually what I do, if I'm going to do two of one rectangle, one ellipse, usually I will put it in a different layer. For example, Control Z will undo it, but it's only undo for a certain amount of time. So Control Alt Z will undo all the way, hopefully. So it's only undo for a certain far. So what we're going to do now, let's say if you don't want this, so let's create new layer, and I'm going to double click on this layer, background layer, and press OK, and now the lock is gone. Now I can simply drag this and delete this layer. I will end up with this one blank layer. So when you see a checker box like this, that means that's layer is transparency. Whatever you do, you'll see through them. If you want to fill it back again with white color, you go to edit, fill. Okay, you do edit fill and you press OK. So this is like very short of Photoshop. What I'm going to do, I'm going to keep this the way it is. I'm going to file new again. Sorry, I'm going to file open. I'm going to do file open, and let me go and look for some pictures so we can play with it. Oh boy. So let me click on this picture, press open. Basically guys, this is not my picture. I didn't take these photos. This is one of the students from a couple of semesters ago, and so one of the professor put in a Dropbox for us to use it. So uh, let's go ahead and do this. So see, if you look at this, if you analyze this, the light is coming through here, and there's all lots of wrinkles in the paper, on the sheets, and you see white spots, but the model looks really good. So there's no problem with the models. So if you zoom in here, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to, just for an example, I'm going to crop this. The way I'm going to crop this, if you look at this, see the black space here, there's a lot of space here, and there's a couple of space, and there's a more space here. So what I'm going to crop this, but I'm going to set up my line guidelines. So if I use the move command, this weak over here, select up here, and I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to see from here to here, it's 2 8 30 32. So 28 30 32. Okay, now from here what I'm going to do, 8 6 4. So I'm going to put it up here, and that's it. I will do the same thing here. I have a from here 8 6 2 4 0, so 8, and do the same thing here, 34 36 36 38 40 42. Okay, so that's my rectangle over here. So I'm going to use the crop command, C for crop. I'm going to drag it from here all the way up to this guy here, and press either you could press enter, or you could drag this icon on the side, and you could move them smaller, or move them to make it smaller and bigger. This time I'm going to press enter. See, now you can see that this whole thing is in proportion like a square. So once this is done, guys, what I'm going to do, I will go ahead and do some I'm going to bring the brightness a little bit down, because you can see that over here is too much light in this part over here, and the focus is on this area here. Over here, this clay model is a little blurry. So what I'm going to do, I will click on this icon here on brightness contrast. What we're going to do, we're going to click on this icon here, brightness and contrast. When you do that, you see that there's a icon. For some people you'll see something like this. In my case, it's already built into this layer, the toolbar over here. The way you could control this toolbar, guys, by going to Windows and clicking on them, and they'll come and go away. So whatever checked box here, checked ones, it will be on this side here. So what I'm going to do now, I will click on the brightness. I'm going to bring the brightness to is down a bit. So you see that when you bring the brightness down, so before it's you could, now you can see the line of these models. It's very nice. It's not just it's only -2. It's not that much. And I want to bring the contrast up a bit, and just to get that little bit of darkness there. I think I kind of like this. Okay. If you don't want it, you can just turn this off. See that? You could turn it off. It'll be gone. Then I'm going to click on this over here. I'm going to bring my curves. So if you press order curves, it's automatically do it for you. But if you want more, you could see that it's simply making it darker. If you go up this way, make it brighter. So I'm just going to bring it a little bit down. It looks really nice. It's really nice. So that's my curve. So see what happened if I turn this off. That's my bright, that's my curve. So what's happening, my image here. So if I move my brightness down, so my brightness will go first, then the curves will have applied to the brightness. So this, oh, if you change the order, this will affect the image as well. Again, now I'm going to go back here. I would like, let's go ahead and put some levels. Level is to bring the intensity of the black. See right now, see the too much is become white. So if we go this direction, see that it becomes so black. You can even see it a little bit. So I think just by bringing a little bit, it shows a shadow of this light. See this now shadow become darker. It's right now the pictures. I think it's nice. So I think so for this is much better. We're going to listen for this image. So I want you guys to go through all the photos. All things you have to do 30 images, and pick I think you have 3 models, 10 image for each model. Pick 4 from each images out of 10 and work on it. I highly recommend that you work through all 30. You get more experience. Alright, so let me give you another small command here. Let's say this white spot. Do you see the white spot here? Let's say if you don't want to see this white spot, you want to delete this from this model over here. So just a clone command, which is I call S. So see that my S is now working. It's working, but it's a level. It's create a level over here. So what I'm going to create my background. Z for zoom. See when you press Z in the keyboard, it zooms, and when you press the tab, it become a hand and you can move around. So I'm going to zoom a little bit. I'm going to move around. And what I'm going to do now, if you press Alt, it will become minus. Do you see that? Press minus, press Alt. So I'm going to S for selection. So as X for clone tool. So now it's like a circle. You can control the circle through here. What I'm going to do now is that if you press the Alt button, it'll become like a camera lens. So take a picture anywhere that is good. For example, in my case, this color and this space over here match with this. I want to take a picture here like this. Click on it, hold the Alt and click. Now if you go on top of this, you could clear that. You see that? That's gone. And do the same thing. Now if I do the same thing on here, it won't work because my images see that going in wrong directions. So every time when you do something like that, you gotta take a picture and then move it. So I'm going to press Alt again to remove this white. Click here and take a picture. See that? Alt, move it. Alt and move that. You see that? It's gone. So let's go ahead and clean the clean the images. I zoomed a lot. So I'm holding the Alt button. See, I even clicked it a lot. It's been all the way. Okay, I'm going to press the toolbar and want to clean that again. S for S for clone. So I'm going to take a picture on this side. I want to delete this guy and also delete that too. Take a picture over here and delete that. So now it's gone. Now it become clean pictures here. And see that now I cannot do that because see all of my white spot because my camera is over here. So that's why it's always better to take a picture like this, then move it. See that? So in this case over here, if you don't like any of this, either you could crop it, make it smaller, or you could take a picture like this here and simply move it. See that? You can move this stuff. So I want you guys to go and clean this here. For example, even you could do that to your model too. If you zoom in to your model, see this area. See this area here, there's a bump on the thing. If you want to fix that, I'll make my brush smaller. You could come here and you make your brush smaller. I'm going to make much more smaller. So I will do the S command, click here, see that next to it, this part is good, click here, see that is gone. I'll do the same thing for this guy, click here and that is gone, click here, see, and that is gone, click here, voila. So see that you can fix your models, and if you keep going, you keep fix those models. And also guys, when you take a photograph, just try to focus on one particular thing, then let this be fade out, or try to capture the most like focus you could possible. So this model is so far good. So I'm going to open another model. Not model, I'm going to open another drawings. Open. I'm going to open this drawing over here. This is one of the students' drawings. So I want you guys to scan your drawings. So if you have a question about scanning, please ask me, I will tell you. So how are we going to fix this? In this case, I'm going to bring up I want to clean entire all of this outside with I'm going to show you a couple of selection tools here. So the way I could do this is magic wand, hold the magic wand, the W with the magic tool. It's like Harry Potter magic tool. So when you click on it, so it'll give you something like this. It's very hard to, because the scanning is not clear. So in this case, what I could do is I could use a laser tool. Before that, let's pick the colors, guys. Let's pick the color, or let's bring this to all the white, and change by, if you press X, it will change the other one to bring that to white. So that's white. So I'm going to say L command, which is a laser tool, which is if you hold your mouse here, second one. So I'm going to start from outside somewhere, click on this corner. I'm going to follow this line a bit. I'm going to follow all the way like this. I'm going to go outside. So I'm trying to make it. Then click outside, click outside, click outside. Now when you come here, you see the circle and L selection. So in this case, either you could delete, become white. So because when you delete, what it's doing is applying this white color. Okay guys, so you could click outside, and you can click on this drawings on the side, click on the corner like this, corner like this. If your scanning is very bad, if you want to fix your entire drawings, then you could go ahead and do that. I'll go like that, delete. See that? You could delete by deleting, or if you press M, see that you could now all is much clear. If I zoom in, you will see that the difference between this area and this area. See that all this is merged with the pencil. So what I'm going to do now, again, laser tool, click here, click here. I'm going to click on this corner. I'll click outside first, then I clicked on this corner, then I clicked on this. I'm following the path of this my shades. Try not to do everything in one shot because it will hurt you. So just make it straight. See that? It's something like this. If you have too many selection, if you make one mistake, then you got to go back and select. So I'm going to again please delete. So it will delete the whole thing. And again now I'm going to start from outside this corner. Click here, that corner, straight, that, and delete. Now I cleaned all of my inside. Okay, so once you clean inside, outside, sorry, I cleaned outside. So let's go and clean inside. But you have a choice now. If you want, you could leave it like this and go to your the selections and change the brightness or levels. I will go and change the levels, bring the white and make it a little darker. See how it's turning dark? And if you look at this, all this in the background is, once it's gone, is your drawing, your scanning looks really nice. Just pops out everything. And also if we add in, we select the image, brightness and contrast, just bump up the brightness a bit. So when you bump up the brightness a bit, you will still see the line, but also this will be gone. I think this is kind of good. Okay, so we clean up the drawings. Now guys, what we could do, if you want to shade this your model, see that right now this is your shadow, this is your shadow, this is your model. If you want to play with this a little more, so what I would recommend, you again go back to laser tool, this time create a new layer. Okay, the new layer, we put that on top of it. I'm going to zoom a little bit inside, laser tool, click outside, click here, click this side, go up and come down and press enter, selector. But see that I made a mistake. I shouldn't done this. But what I could do, I could go and again do lasso, but this time I could press the alt button. See that while this is active, if I press the alt button, it will give me minus. So I can subtract anything out of this, any selection. So if I do that, it will select subtract. So now what I will go and add a little of grayish. If you want a little bit of color, you could do that too. Then I'm going to type in with the brush, B for brush. I'm going to brush this. Okay, once I put the brush to this, press enter. Now I could turn this off and on, so that's different layer, remember that. Now I will come to my opacity and I will bring it down a bit. See that it looks really nice with the color, the shades, and this is the shadow. But if you like, you could put this to like a grayish, more better grayish, like this. If you undo it, Control Z, you will have the selection. That you could do B, and then you could come here and give some shade there. Alright, so this is how you could change, crop, clean your images, and even if you like, you could use clean this inside as well, the way I did this. You clean the top and you can bring it up. So now we have this image and this. First thing, now it's going to save. I'm going to file, save as. I'm going to do PSD file 1. Okay, so oblique view PSD1. I'm going to put today's date, which is, I'll put the year first, 2014 underscore, sorry, I'll do the other way around, date, month, today is 12 underscore 2014. Save it, press OK, open, press OK. Again I'm going to file, save as, this time JPEG, and I'm going to say the same name. I'm going to save it. When you do that, it'll give you this dialog box. Press OK with that. I'll do the same thing for this too. File, save as, PSD file. I'm going to call this model, or you can call it clay, or whichever you want. So I'm just going to call it XXX because it's not my image, so I cannot put my name on it. And it's going to be 2009 12 underscore 2014, and says a PSD, and press OK, and file, again save as, this time can be JPEG. I like to do both ways, and press OK. Alright guys, so once you done this, then we could select all, Control A, okay, and I'm going to select this, right click, merge the layers, okay, then I'm going to select all, copy. Then remember what the white space 11 by 17 which we created, I'm going to come here and Control P for paste. See, right now my image look big, and also I can move my image. See that? Now I'm going to do, see the layers is still on. I'm going to do Control T, which will give me transformation. Control T, and if you move it, see that it'll Control T, X, Y, and Z. I'm going to lock this, and I'm going to put this to, whoops, by mistake I rotated. I'm going to put this to 50% here. Enter. So when I lock this, I mean all the direction is making my image to come 50%. See that guys? No, it's only made one side. Control Z. I want to press escape. When you press escape, it will go back to automatically go back to the original way. Then I'm going to press Control T, and I'm going to lock this time the height and width. Okay, it's going to be 50% on both sides. See that? It will changes both sides. So now my image becomes smaller. If you want more, you could press, say, another 40%, then press enter. Now your image becomes smaller, and then you could move your image to the side, and you could lay out your pages. Okay guys, and now also you could bring in your this guy as well. I will merge all this layer. Okay, select all, copy, and paste it in here. It says it become huge big image now. So I'm going to click on this image, which is a layer. I'm going to press Control T for transform. Click this small icon here. I'm going to put this to 50 because I'm going to scale down by 50. Once that is done, press enter, and now you can move your image to the side. And my computer is acting slow because of the files. Press enter guys. So now this is done. So you have your image, your model. So in your case everything looks same, clay model same. Now you could press T for text, and you could come here and drag and put a text here. And now you could pick the text size, font size, and text shape. So I will put put your name. See, make sure that you pick the right color, whichever color you want your text to looks like, and you can still give it that colors. As this goes, if you change the color, it changes here. And also, if you want to rename it, once the text is done, and you can put it to move, and you can move your text anywhere you want. For example, let's say if you want to rename this, oops, you can rename it. Yes, you click here and use again, you rename it. Sorry, you double click inside the white space and you rename it like this. Okay guys, so for now I will say that you save your image, and if you could put them in a 2 or 3 pages, it'll be good. If not, then we'll put them in InDesign. Alright guys, so I'll see you guys next class. Try to finish with um, all the images, and crop them, need to be cropped, and don't try not to change the resolution yet. Keep the original resolution. I want to tell you something else with the resolution. So I'll see you guys.